Guess what, YouTube? I'm satisfied, YouTube, YouTube! You working on an LS swap? Do you have the intentions on doing an LS swap? Let me show you something real quick. LS3 swap, 72 convertible Impala. We show you how to do this, YouTube, from the ground up, man. Every step of the way, YouTube. Watch how quick this car crank up. I want to help make your LS swap crank up as quick as mine does. Every time you hit that switch, YouTube, I got something that I need to share with you, YouTube. This gonna make sure that happens. I just can't believe hardly nobody else is doing what I'm about to share with y'all, YouTube. But I'm gonna put it out there. I'm also gonna share with you a few other things that's gonna help to make sure your LS swap cranks up every time you hit that switch. But I'm gonna say the best for last. So you gotta stick with me, YouTube. Make sure y'all pay attention. Make sure you watch this video all the way through, YouTube. I don't want you to miss nothing. I wanna make sure that you get everything that I got. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you turn on your notification bell, YouTube. That way you see the videos when we post them. Let Chevys R Us help you do your LS swap, YouTube. We a family, man. We stick together. We uplift one another. We support one another. This a family thing, YouTube. Chevys R Us. Let's get it. YouTube, YouTube, YouTube. It's your boy, Tony Tone, coming back at y'all one more again, YouTube, with another great video on Chevys R Us, man. Y'all already know what time it is, man. And we out here in the garage. I got some good information I need to share with y'all, YouTube. What I'm about to share with you today, YouTube, it's gonna help you. It's gonna make sure that your LS swap cranks every time, man. Every time you hit that switch, it's gonna crank. Let's get it. All right, YouTube. First thing first, the number one thing to make sure that your LS swap cranks up every single time, man. This is also very vital to the operation of your LS engine. You know what I'm saying? We put a lot of money into these LS swaps. It's vital to the dependability of your LS swap, to the stability of your LS swap. You know what I'm saying? It's very, very vital to the operation and performance that your LS engine has. You don't want to be at a car show or be at a party or something like that, man, and now your LS swap don't crank. So the first thing is you want to make sure that you have a good tune on your computer that's running your LS style engine. You don't want to look on Google and go and find a tuner. No, you want to deal with a tuner that somebody has done some work for, somebody that knows somebody that you can see their work and you can see how well their car is performing. That's who you want to do business with. If you decided to go the other route and have the adaptable systems that adapt to your engine build, like the one that I have in this 72 Impala, like Phytech or Harley Terminator X or something like that, you want to make sure that you fine tune your car. Work with their support, their technical support, you know what I'm saying, and get your stuff fine tuned. Fine tuning. Just simple as that, YouTube. That's the first thing. Yeah, your motor looking good. Yeah, it's running good, but it won't crank. It ain't no good if it won't crank, YouTube. The next thing you want to make sure you do is to make sure that you don't have no oil leaks nowhere. You know what I'm saying? A lot of time oil leaks to the bottom. Oil leaks around the oil pan. Oil runs down. So, that is key to making sure your car starts up every time, because if oil is around your oil pan, what else is down there? Your starter's down there. Oil will eventually get into your starter. And when oil gets into your starter, it's going to make it go bad. It's going to make it quit. It's going to make it stop working. When oil gets into the solenoid, it's going to stop working. And so guess what? That's going to leave you on the side of the road somewhere. So to make sure that your starter lasts as long as it possibly can, and you get the best performance out of your starter, and it turns your car over as quick as it possibly can, make sure you don't have no oil leaks. You don't have oil leaking down by your starter. And a good way to do that is whenever you sealing your engine up, whenever you putting your oil pan on, whenever you putting your rear engine cover on, your timing chain cover, your valve covers, whenever you putting the covers to your engine on, make sure you use a good quality gasket, and also make sure you use high temp silicone. You know what I'm saying? High temp gasket sealer. And then also, what's really gonna help you not to leak is by using a torque wrench. With using a torque wrench, you're able to put the recommended torque on each bolt. You know what I'm saying? The recommended torque. That increases the chances that you're not gonna leak from whatever cover you putting on. That's gonna help you, YouTube. It's gonna make your starter last, because you ain't gonna have all that oil leaking down there in your starter. So make sure y'all do that. YouTube, I know how important it is to make sure your LS swap cranks up as quick as mine. Not sometime, but every time you hit that switch, YouTube, you want that thing to crank. I know you don't want to spend unnecessary money on your LS swap. And I know you want to get your LS swap up and running as quick as possible, YouTube. I got something else coming up, but I'm going to say the best for last, man. I just can't believe that ain't nobody doing what I have to share with y'all, YouTube. The last thing, man, is the most importantest thing that you could possibly do to make sure that your car cranks up quick, make sure that it cranks up every time, and make sure your starter lasts as long as it possibly can. But we'll get to that in just a little bit, YouTube. Stick with me. All right, YouTube, this next thing is, most people probably say that it ain't gonna help, but I think that every little thing helps. You know what I'm saying? It's the details that count. So what I did is I had to extend, I had to shorten or extend my starter wire. And so instead of using a terminal, you know what I'm saying, that you squeeze and, you gotta crimp it, what I did is I used solder. And so what that solder on that starter connection does, it's not going to allow it to get loose. And I also use heat shrink over it. And when you make the connection to the starter, make sure you use some dielectric grease. That'll prevent moisture from getting into contact. It'll prevent moisture from getting in the connection. You know what I'm saying? It's a more stable connection. And guess what? It's better for your starter, because you got no opportunity or no possibility for that connection to get loose. Because if it gets loose, it's going to generate more heat. And what that heat is going to do, it's going to make that solenoid on that starter go bad. So as a precautionary measure, I soldered my connection. So that's another thing that you can do to make sure that your starter connection don't get loose. Make sure it don't generate too much heat by a loose connection. is to make sure you use some solder on that connection, YouTube. That's another thing, man. Another thing that you can do is to make sure that your starter has the proper clearance. And what I mean when I say that is starters that they could be shimmed. And if you put your starter on, you crank it, and it makes a little grinding noise or something like that, you know your starter needs some shims. And if you keep running your car like that, either your flywheel gonna get tore up or you're gonna have to put another starter on it. So the best thing to do is to make sure that you have the proper clearance. And if you need to add shims, add some shims to your starter, man. Add some shims. That's it. Ain't nothing to it. We put a lot of money into these LS swaps. Man, we put a lot of hard work into these LS swaps, YouTube. And I know how important it is for your LS swap to crank every time you hit that key. You know what I'm saying? I know you want to be able to drive your LS swap anywhere. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to have to worry about if it's going to crank. The final thing, man, the best thing, man, the greatest thing that's going to help you, man, to crank up, man. They say a picture is better than a million words. So let me show y'all what I got, YouTube. Let me show it to you. All right, YouTube, we down here. And I'm just going to look up and show you the starter. I know y'all see that little cover around my starter. It looks like a little aluminum foil, whatever it is, but it's actually, it's got fiberglass. It's a sleeve for the starter that protects the starter from heat and stuff like that. And so that's going to help save us, keep the heat off of the starter. You know what I'm saying? That's it. And what I did is I got the cloth one and I cut it and it's just stainless steel zip tied it to the starter to protect it. So just wanted to show you that, YouTube. Now, I know y'all see my cover over my starter. That cover is going to protect my starter from the heat. Okay, now, if other LS engines or if the LS motors in the factory cars, man, if every other single LS motor application has a starter cover, why you think your car don't need a starter cover to protect the starter from all that heat? You know what I'm saying? You can look on the Tahoes, you can look on the Suburban, you can look on the Camaro, no matter what kind of car you have, it's gonna be covered, it's covering up your starter. So don't think you don't need it. It serves its purpose, and guess what? It's gonna serve its purpose for our LS swap. It's gonna keep that heat off of the starter, which is gonna allow your car to crank up quicker, it's gonna turn over faster, and your starter is gonna last longer. So remember that, YouTube. That's a good rule of thumb. You know, I say the best for last, but it's actually one more thing that I want to share with y'all. And this is going to help keep heat down too. I don't have it done, so I really can't show you. But something that will help keep heat down from around the starter is you can take that header wrap. Get you some of that header wrap and wrap the header to cut down on the heat underneath the hood. And so that will also help keep heat down from under the hood and also away from your starter, which is going to allow your starter to last longer and to operate more efficiently like it's supposed to, YouTube. All right. Hey, man, I hope y'all enjoyed. If you like this video, please click in the top right corner and check out more LS swap tips and tricks, things that will help save you time, save you money, save you pain and frustration while you're working on your LS swap. or if you plan to work on the LS swap, man, make sure y'all check that information out, man. Some very valuable, very good information, man, that I want to share with y'all, man. So make sure y'all check it out. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please make sure you go ahead and do so. You know what I'm saying? Let Chevys R Us help you do your LS swap. Let's do this thing together, YouTube. You know what I'm saying? All right, YouTube. We'll holler at y'all next time. YouTube.